Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I don't care what none of y'all say. It's fanfic central. I don't give no fucks what the reason is. No, I don't want to hear Akira Toriyama wrote it. Um, there's a lot of shit that quote unquote he really didn't write. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to sit up here and agree with this nonsense because we already know that Toru is also in charge of writing Dragon Ball now, and he been retconning stuff that goes against stuff that even Akira Toriyama set up. At least the people who wrote the other stuff from Dragon Ball, like the Dragon Ball movies, GT, and them respected the lore that Akira Toriyama had and tried to tie it into the stuff that he established. You know what I'm saying? And we already know that Akira Toriyama was also a forget for a lot too as well. So this whole thing, well, Akira Toriyama wrote it or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Just because he wrote it don't mean it's good. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell you he didn't write most of Super. Doing an outline is not writing. Like understand, I can outline something and I can hire somebody to do it. That doesn't mean I wrote it. You get what I'm saying? They just took my ideas and ran with it, and I just said, "Oh, okay, great." You know what I'm saying? So for y'all to even be like, this is amazing, this is hyped or whatever. No, this is lame. Diva during the battle with whatever that fat piece of shit is, don't care because I'm not watching it really. Um Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 after Vegeta went Super Saiyan 3 and they couldn't defeat fat ass. So Diva, the demon Namekian, because apparently Namekians are strive from the demon world, which makes sense because Akira Toriyama always hinted about Demon King Piccolo. So, of course, I'm not mad about that retcon or anything. I'm not mad about any of that. What I'm pissed off about is now he used this magic, and I guess to unlock a potential future transformation for Goku. So Goku turns into the Super Saiyan 4, you know what I'm saying, from GT, and now everybody's like, "Oh, it's finally Super Saiyan 4 is canon." First off, everything about GT was always canon. I don't want to hear that bullshit because you can't have it both ways. You can't say GT isn't canon and Akira Toriyama didn't write it, but Akira Toriyama didn't write Super neither, and Super is canon. So you know what I'm saying? Even though Super contradicts the main timeline of Dragon Ball, while GT respects it, like y'all you fanboys need to understand fucking reading fundamentals because if you allow a story to retcon so much of the established lore and then try to say, oh, it's canon still, or because you didn't like a version of the story that was a little underwhelming, seek help because everything about Super and Daima kind of sucks, honestly. It's not interesting. And then the producers of Dragon Ball Daima just admitted that yeah, this is our kind of GT 2.0. So you did a knockoff of Dragon Ball GT. You did a goddamn knockoff of Dragon Ball GT instead of just making GT, instead of picking up from where GT left off at, or better yet, having Super be your GT. Because why would Dragon Ball Daima needs to take place before Dragon Ball Super? But then once again, Dragon Ball GT takes place after all the events of Dragon Ball Z, and Daima and Super takes place in between Dragon Ball Z after they defeated Majin Buu. Make the shit make sense, which still means everything still ties up to the end of Dragon Ball GT. That's what y'all not understanding. This shit is dumb. It doesn't make any logical sense. Yes, he used some magic to give Goku this primordial Saiyan powers, something to tap into. But okay, once again, if Diamond takes place before Dragon Ball Super and Lord Beerus' arrival, so Vegeta just forgot a Super Saiyan 3. Um, and Goku just forgot about this primary primordial form, and then they never mention or bring all of this up with Lord Beerus. You see how Daima and Super contradicts so much of the timeline. At least with Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball GT literally went back. from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and pulled things that Akira Toriyama laid there and used it. You're keep putting stuff in between Dragon Ball Z timeline, this 10-year gap, which yes, a lot of things come in 10 years, but it doesn't make any sense because it contradicts the manga, because the manga also stated that for 10 years Goku and his friends lived in peace. Now all of a sudden all these events are happening in that 10-year peace time, and it ain't making sense. It ain't making the sense God gave. You get what I'm saying? So that's why this all of this shit is stupid. All of this shit becomes dumb. All of this is fanfic. If anything should have just been canon for Dragon Ball when Toritaro took over. It should have been the canonization of Dragon Ball AF. So right after GT ended, Dragon Ball AF starts, which takes place before the 100-year time gap. Which that's fine. That is fine. You know what I'm saying? That's totally fine. We can easily have that. But I rather the continuation of GT with Dragon Ball AF, or the AF storyline that takes place in the 100-year time, after Goku flies off and we saw Nimbus or whatever, and it focused on Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. I would have preferred some shit like that over this shit because it's starting to get stupid. It is. It's getting dumb. And then now all of a sudden the Western audience is like, oh my God, Super Saiyan 4 is canon. Nobody said Super Saiyan 4 wasn't canon. It's only the American bitches who said this shit. Y'all are the ones who ruined a lot of this shit with Dragon Ball because y'all want to talk about what's not canon, what's not included, blase blase, and then y'all try to justify bullshit. No, this shit is stupid. Shit is stupid. Ever since we got that stupid Team 4 Star shit, y'all asses done let this shit fuck up Dragon Ball for real. Talking about was not canon, GT suck when I remember growing up, y'all bitches wasn't even complaining about GT like that. A lot of y'all wasn't even complaining about GT like that. I know because I grew up when the shit came out and we were all talking about Dragon Ball GT and we wanted to see more from Dragon Ball GT after GT ended. So don't give me that bullshit. The only thing we didn't like is Pan and people thinking that Goku was gonna eventually become an adult again. Other than that, people was pretty solid about Dragon Ball GT. Don't let the fucking internet motherfuckers fool you. Don't let them fool you. I was there when this shit happened. We were drawing Dragon Ball. We were drawing Dragon Ball GT. We couldn't wait to see when these characters going to show up in video games, all that kind of stuff. We even was anticipating a Dragon Ball GT manga. So once again, I don't listen to these bitches. All right, the Western audience done got dickheaded and then done let this shit permeate into the Dragon Ball realm. It's the same shit as, oh, Goku can beat everybody, but yet we've seen Goku get defeated by the most simplest shits ever, but think he can still beat Superman. Get out of here. Get out of here. And that's crazy as hell that a lot of y'all just seem to forget about that kind of stuff. But I'm just gonna let you know this whole Super Saiyan 4 magic transformation shit is dumb because you got to explain it. You got to explain it. So you're going to have to retcon Daima, which means that the adventure that they went on in Daima was a waste of time. Then, if you have to retcon it and pretend like it didn't exist, because none of this stuff was mentioned or tied into Super, and Daima takes place before Super. Let the producers claim it, let Toritaro claim it. But if Akira Toriyama wrote it, that means he skipped over it. Because the same thing with Dragon Ball Superheroes. Superhero skipped over the entire Dragon Ball Super manga with the Moro and the Granola arc. That shit don't even exist for Akira Toriyama. So for me, I'm thinking that Daima does take place right after the events of Dragon Ball, um, right after the or it skips over Super. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense that Diamond exists, but it's supposed to take place before Super, but at the same time ignores everything that Super set up. Maybe the thing about it is Akira Toriyama is really ignoring Super itself, and because he let Toritaro do whatever he want with it. I think he washed his hands and let Toritaro do Super, but Daima picks up after Dragon Ball Z, and then after all of that, after that event happened, then Dragon Ball Super Heroes, then the time skip, and then you get Dragon Ball, you get the end of Dragon Ball Z where Goku flies off, and that's really about it. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking because there ain't no way in hell that this makes sense. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said, the Super Saiyan 4 transformation was stupid, just like Super Saiyan 3 Kid Vegeta. It's dumb. It's dumb. It contradicts too much shit. No, absolutely not. At some point, we gotta say, come on now. Yeah, can we just admit that this shit is fanfic? At least, at least if this was in Dragon Ball Superheroes, I mean Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I wouldn't have no problem because that shit does so much with canon and play around with it that we ain't even gotta say where it takes place. We know it takes place in the Xenoverse. We know that the Xenoverse is different versions of the characters pulled out of timelines doing different things in the conversation. That's what Super and Daima is real at this point really is. Because it can't be canon to the regular continuity. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.